So today I want to talk about my experience as somebody with 51 units of real estate trying to qualify for a conventional loan for a primary residence. Right. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I own two apartment complexes, a 26 unit and a 20 unit, as well as five single family homes. I used to own a mobile home park that was roughly 40 units, which I sold end of 2023. And now I'm in the process of buying my 52nd unit, which is a primary residence, my new single family home that I'm going to live in, and I'm trying to go through a conventional loan, and I'm on the loan with my fiance. So just want to document my experience going through this process. It's actually one of the hardest loans that I've been through, and I heard a lot of real estate investors say this: the more real estate you own, the more mortgages you have, it's a lot harder to qualify for loans that look at your debt to income ratio. And let me explain. So when you submit for a conventional loan, typically it's the best interest rate that you'll get, the best terms, but it's the most rigorous process, right? That's why a lot of investors at my level, they use hard money loans or they use private money loans or portfolio loans, where the interest rate's not as good, but the document requirement is a lot less, and they don't deep dive into your personal tax returns as much. When you're going conventional loan, like what I'm doing, they ask for your past 3 years of tax returns, right? So they're going to ask for my 2023, my 2022, and my 2021, and they deep dive into it, right? And for me, when you buy a lot of value add real estate like me, your tax returns look ugly, right? Like it's very ugly. And let me explain, right? Because when I bought my 26 unit, for example, I'm going in there, I'm renovating units, I'm putting in like $5,000 per unit to renovate it. And if you have 26 units, you're putting in like $200,000 to renovate your apartment complex. And in your tax returns, when you file it, like for my 26 unit, I'm going to put how much income I got. And as you're renovating, your occupancy is not going to be that great, right? Because you're constantly churning units, and then when a unit's done, then you'll rent it out. But during the stabilization period of renovations, your rent roll, your income is not going to be great. Like if you break even, that's good enough, right? So for the most part, I was breaking even, and then you put in your expenses, right? So I need to pay for the loan, the water, property tax, insurance, property management, utilities, garbage, any repairs and maintenance, right? And on top of that, you'll have a section where you do all your renovations, which is under depreciation, right? So if you spent $200,000 on renovation and you depreciate over, let's say, 5 years, then that's roughly $40,000 a year in depreciation. And it makes your tax returns not look so pretty, right? So if you look at me in 2022, I was renovating my 26 unit, I was renovating my 20 unit, and I was renovating my mobile home park. So my tax return looks very bad. And to put a cherry on top, my W 2 income was a little bit unstable at the time because I was like jumping between jobs, getting laid off. So, and then also taking time off to manage my real estate portfolio because that's a full time job in itself. And now that things are more stable, where my 26 unit, it's stable, it's done, renovations are done, my 20 unit renovations are done, my mobile home park, I sold it. I have a great W 2 that gave me a big pay raise. But despite that, so my situation today is very good, right? Like I have a good W 2 job. I probably cash flow between all my real estate, so including my single family homes, my apartments, and eventually my mobile home park note. I'm gonna be netting around $10,000 a month in net. So let's just say my W 2, I take home 10,000. My real estate, I take home 10,000. I'm taking home $20,000, and the loan that we're getting, roughly all in for all expenses, it's around $7,500 for simplicity, right? Assuming 10% down, or 5 to 10% down, roughly. So in my eyes, I'm like, they want a 50% debt to income ratio. And keep in mind, I have my fiance on the loan too, so her income is added as well. But despite that, so in my mind, I'm like, okay, I take home about $20,000. My loan is $7,500, so we are less than a 50% debt to income ratio. But what happens is the underwriter, I think they're doing averages. So they're looking at like, okay, great, today in 2024 you're doing great, but based on your tax return in 2023 or 2022, I feel like they're kind of lowering my income a little bit, and they're not being transparent with me as to how it's affecting me. But in my mind, I'm like, high level, hey, I should be cash flowing well. This shouldn't be an issue. But I get it, the lenders being more conservative. Maybe they're taking an average of my W-2 income, not my current income. Maybe they're taking an average of my real estate, not my current real estate. So they're just doing averages to be more conservative, but it's just making it a lot harder for me to qualify, right? Like, my credit score is amazing. I have a 800 credit score. I work at W-2 and my real estate's now cash flowing. I get it. In the past, when I was stabilizing it, it wasn't pretty, right? When I was renovating my mobile home park, selling my mobile home park, I sold my mobile home park for a loss. Not pretty. It's gone now. My 20 unit, 26 unit, yeah, 2023, it was rough, but end of 2023 till today, it's been good, right? It's been stable. It's cash flowing well. My single family homes has been pretty consistent, and for the most part, my single family homes is cash flow negative because I pulled out a lot of equity from one single family home, about $1 million in equity, to go buy my 2 apartment complexes, my mobile home park. So of course that property is not going to be cash flowing well, right? Because I put out so much money. But despite that one property being negative $3,000 a month, I'm making like $13,000 positive between my 2 apartments and my mobile home park note, right? So it offsets it. So I don't see what the issue is. But like I said, lenders are being conservative, and that's how they underwrite, right? So I'm literally trying to like talk to the underwriter, tell him my story, tell him my situation, because I know my fiance, her situation's easy, right? She has a great W-2 job like me. We're both pharmacists, and she has one rental property, which maybe it's cash flow negative, like $200. So like her situation is easy, mine's more complicated. But like for me, I also have a lot of money that's liquid, right? Because I have a lot of money that's index funds. Sorry, there's something in my eye. I have a lot of index funds that are pretty liquid, but I just don't want to like cash out because I don't want to pay capital gains tax on that. I want that compounding to keep on going, and the S&P 500 averages 7 to 10% a year. Why would I take money out to pay extra down payment when my interest rate's like 6.5%? Right? I mean, it's kind of close, but like, why? Like, I want that compounding to continue. So, um, overall, just ranting a little bit. It's been hard to qualify for a loan. The more real estate I've owned, the harder it's been. And I'm just telling myself that it's a one time thing. Like once I get this conventional loan, they don't look at me again. But, this is why a lot of real estate investors, they just pay for a higher interest rate and deal with the higher interest rate, right? Like, would I pay 7.5% to have an easier loan process? Maybe I would, right? Like, so this is the trade off that you have to make. And this is the inevitable once you become a bigger real estate investor, because most people can only get 10 conventional loans before they max out, right? Anyways, so for me, I already have like at least 6 conventional loans under my name, so I only have 4 more, to be honest. So and when I buy another single family home, honestly, I'm probably gonna like sell my current primary residence as well as one of my investment properties, and then use that to make a large down payment. So maybe it's easier to qualify, right? So just something to keep in mind as you're scaling your real estate portfolio. Like, I have a W-2, I have a very good W-2 job, and I'm still struggling. Great W-2. My real estate portfolio cash flows. I have a great credit score. I'm on a loan with my fiance who has a great credit score, who has a great W-2, and we're like struggling to qualify. And it's making me wonder, if we're struggling this hard, how do other people qualify, right? They don't have good credit scores like us. They don't have good jobs like us, right? Yes, I may have a little more things going on in my tax returns, but they scrutinize everything. Like even my businesses, like one businesses that I lost money on, I closed that business. They're still looking at it. Another business that I'm in the process of selling, they're looking at that. My coaching or YouTube revenue, they're looking at that. So like everything they're scrutinizing to a T, and it's becoming a pain in the ass, for lack of a better word. So hopefully this gives you some insight. To you real estate investors who want to do what I'm doing, have a large, medium-sized real estate portfolio, work a W-2, and you're trying to buy a primary residence. It's not going to be easy, but hey, you got to be persistent. Keep trying. You'll do it, and eventually you'll get there, right? So this is what it's like to own 51 units of real estate, trying to buy a primary residence. It's not glamorous, right? I'm giving you the full transparent truth, right? It's not glamorous. It's probably the hardest loan that I'm trying to qualify for, to be honest. Like I've done this like so many times between single family homes, apartment complexes, refinancing apartment complexes, and this has been the hardest loan I've done. Like I've submitted over 100 pieces of documentation, and this loan officer is, I can't tell if it's because of me, my situation, or is the loan officer just terrible, right? It might be a little both, right? So let me know if you have any questions below. Please share some video of somebody who is struggling with getting a loan approved despite owning a large real estate portfolio and a W-2. Let me know if you have any questions down below. If you're interested in joining my mentorship program, check out the link down below. And if you're thinking of joining my monthly membership program on YouTube, click the join button. Happy to have you join, and you could ask me questions. I can make videos to answer your questions, and love to really engage with you guys. So please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.